Hello, welcome to Dream Team Scout. This is your boy Tage for another episode on the Sun Dream Team, and this is for Game Week 8 tips. Now, I just want to apologize to everyone. I've not done a video for the last 2 game weeks. I was on holiday, and obviously that coincided with the international break. So, I had a very prolonged, should I say, rest. But listen, we're back. We know what time the deadline is. It's this Saturday at 11 a.m. So, and yeah. Thank goodness for the international game week that is over. And now let's get into it. So let's not waste too much time. Now, for this game week, we know that we've got several teams. Obviously, Champions League football, Europe is back. So we've got the likes of Arsenal, Man City, Liverpool, Chelsea, Newcastle, Spurs, Palace, Nottingham Forest. All of these teams having double game weeks. So, and we know we know the rules. I mean, not the rules, but not set in stone. But we know we always tend to aim for the teams with the double games. But that doesn't really mean that you get the double the points. But you know how it is. So, let's get into it. So for this game week, what I'll be doing is I'll be focusing on several pool of players, and I'll be going from defense, midfield, and to the strike force. So the first defender I'll be looking into this game week will be Jurgen Timber for Arsenal. It's 5 million. His last game week point was 15 points. He's got a total of 79, and it's averaging 8.8 points per game week, which is crazy. He's got bonus points of 5 in total. This game week, Arsenal are facing Atletico Madrid and Fulham. And for me, Timber is one I'm really much considering looking at my team. He had a back-to-back, clean sheet in the previous game week. Arsenal have kept, 7 clean sheets in 10 games. And right now, Fulham got a shortage of strikers. I don't know if Munoz or Jimenez is back, but I do know that Arsenal more likely to keep a clean sheet. And yeah, Timber is also going through a price increase, and I think this would be the best time to get him, or we should have got him last game week when it was a bit cheaper. The only cons with regards to bringing in Timber is that Atletico are on form. They've scored 15 goals in the last 5 matches, including the 5-2 victory over Madrid. They remain unbeaten against Arsenal, and Arsenal have never kept a clean sheet against Atletico Madrid. So that is something that you want to phantom in if you are bringing in Timber. But if you're looking at if you're looking at Arsenal getting a clean sheet against Fulham, then I think more likely so. It's got ownership of 22.4. That means, most people playing the game are sort of clocked onto him, and that shows where the ownership lies. I would say if you are bringing him in, hold, because he's in top form. And if you look at Arsenal's upcoming fixtures, after this game week, they got Palace, and then we've got, I think, am I correct? Is it Palace? Hold on a second, actually. Have I got my bearings right here? Yeah, we have got Palace and Brighton and Burnley, and oh yeah, there you go. So I would say, yeah, bring him in if you are unsure of bringing in Timber for that price, because right now he's doing good attacking returns with Timber. The other defender I'll probably say, if you want to contemplate same price as Timber. And just before we move off Timber, I would say if you can't afford Timber, then you could bring in you could go in for Gabriel, who's 5.1 million. He's got 68 points in total. Caliofoti, who's 4.1 million, he's got 58 points. So those are alternatives with regards to Timber. But yeah, Gabriel's slightly 100k expensive, and Caliofoti is at least 900k cheaper. So there you have it. Now back to Porro. Would be Porro for Spurs. Now Porro is one that it's quite expensive, and I know Spurs haven't kept a clean sheet for a while, but he's got back-to-back assists in the last 2 game weeks. He's top five defender in the game, and then Spurs have kept 5 clean sheets from the last 10 games this season. So these would be the pros in bringing him in. They're playing Villa and Monaco, who Villa have found form, and Monaco doing Monaco things right now. But the cons to that is that Spurs are without a clean sheet in the last 3 games and only 1 clean sheet in 5. And Monaco scored 11 goals in the last 5 games and 2 goals each in the last 2 games. So, Porro's got 7.8 ownership. They've got some tricky fixtures in Everton and Newcastle in game week 9, and then they got Chelsea and Copenhagen. But I would say is one that we should watch. To be fair, we should watch. But my heart probably lies more with Timber. And if we're also still looking at defenders, then we'll also consider Gabriel for Man City. Now, Gabriel is very expensive. He's 5.6. His game week points last game was 13 points. His average is 7.2, which is great. And they've got, I don't want to say slightly easier fixture this game week, but teams they should beat in Everton and Villarreal. Everton are missing Grealish due to him being ineligible. And yeah, Gabriel kept a clean sheet last game week and provided an assist, for City. And Man City have kept 2 clean sheets in the last 5 games with only 4 conceded, and he's going through a price increase as well. So yeah, he's one that one should consider. But once again, Timber makes a cheaper alternative to Gabriel. But and it comes to just bringing Gabriel, is that Villarreal scored in the last 5 games consecutively. So but he's got ownership of 1.2, so shows that I think he's too expensive right now in the game. But he's one that you could consider with his, City are on a decent form, and the fixtures line ahead with Aston Villa and Swansea, should expect him to feature heavily. So I would say that is that. And then the last defender on the roster would be Daniel Munoz at Crystal Palace. Once again, he's you see the price. He's expensive, just a bit like Gabriel, but he scored 10 points the last game week. He got total points of 70, which is amazing. They're facing Bournemouth and AEK, both away. He scored 2 goals in the last 2 game weeks, totaling 25 points. In the top 5 players list in the game, Palace have kept 6 clean sheets this season so far, including qualifying fixtures. And AEK have considered 4 goals in the last game, and he should be going up in price by 100k. So 2 goals in the last 2 game weeks is one I've always wanted to bring in, but I don't know, if you've got the funds, if you've beat your team, great, then surely why not? He's got a great ownership at this point in time, 16.4, so it shows people are still actually banking on him to do the biz, and he's done it so far. The cons to this transfer is that he's only kept 1 clean sheet in the last 5 games. Tough fixtures in game week 10 ahead, in game week 9 ahead against Arsenal and Liverpool. Bournemouth have scored 8 goals in the last 5 games, and AEK have scored 12 goals in the last 5 games. So, and they got this, and Bournemouth got the Semenyo effect. So yeah, that is one that you should watch closely. But out of the pool of defenders, if I have to pick one, you're in Timber. So just getting into the midfielders, I'm looking at Saka for Arsenal is 6.1 million, so slightly very on the expensive side. Should be going up in price by at least 200k. He's got 2 goals in the last 2 game weeks. He's got a total of 40 points, but we knew he was injured for a bit this season. He's a first choice pen taker. We saw that taking that away from Gyökeres. And then Fulham have considered 3 goals each in the last 2 league games, so I expect him to fill his boots, here. Also, Atletico have conceded in each of the last 5 games, 7 in total. So Saka is indefinite with a good shout, I must say. I spoke about the cons, with Atletico being unbeaten against Arsenal, and crucial information here: Arsenal have only scored once in open play against Atletico Madrid. That's crazy. That's crazy. But yeah, listen. He's got ownership of 10.1, so people are still on the fence with him. But he's a potential captain for this game week. I'll probably say buy and hold. Or alternatively, you could go for Eze, who's 5.1 million. He's got 7 points this last game week, and he's got 44 points. And he should have an extended run in the side with Odegaard missing. Or should I say injured, So yeah, Saka will be the first choice for midfielders I was contemplating to have. And then also you could go into Kudus, who's 4.8 million, should be going up in price by 300k. Scored 14 points last game week, which is a goal and assist. Is amongst the top 10 best 10 players in the game with 1 goal and 4 assists. They're facing Villa and Monaco, and yeah, I spoke about Porro earlier on. Monaco have conceded 13 goals in the last 5 games, so Kudus could fancy himself doing something in that, and at least 2 goals each in the last 3 games. Monaco and 1 win in the last 5 games also, which is good for Kudus. And yeah, Monaco's previous fixtures have had 2 goals scored per game, so it's definitely one that you should consider if you don't really have Kudus, but he's quite popular in the game. Ownership of 18.6. And the cons of playing facing Aston Villa this game week is that Villa have been in good form lately, and they've kept 2 clean sheets out of 5, considering only 3 goals in the last 5 games. So maybe Kudus might find it a bit tougher against Villa, but might fancy himself to do much better against Monaco. That is what I would say with regards to that. Alternatively, you could go for Palhinha. He's 3.8, scored 2 points the last game week, so should be going down in price, so be careful whilst bringing him in. But he's got a total of 51 points. He gets tons of tackles, and that is one that you could sort of consider if you were going to bring him in. And then the main man, well, I said the main man, who plays 1 game a week, which is Antonio Semenyo. It's 4.9 million. It's gone up in price by 300k. Scored 20 points last game week. For people captain him, wow, hats off. He's got a total of 72 points. He had 2 goals in the last game week versus Fulham. He's got 4 goals and 1 assist in the last 5 games. He's averaging 9 points per game. Amazing. It's the top midfielder. It's the best midfielder in the game. He's got 3 goals and 6 assists so far this season. And yeah, what was there not to like? Now the only cons to Semenyo is that he's on he plays 1 game per game week. And Crystal Palace, I've got the joint second best defense in the league. So, but he's got ownership of 29.7. So if that doesn't tell you that loads of people are bringing this guy in, then I don't know what to say, mate. Because literally, he's doing the biz right now. And just to go into the fixtures, game week 9 is Nottingham v Forest, Man City, and Aston Villa away. So Semenyo is one that you should consider having in your team. Lastly, Moses Caicedo for Chelsea. He's 4.7 million. Should be going up in price by 200k. Scored that banger against Liverpool. Scored a total of 69 points. Average is 7.7. Trust me, like, defensive midfielders are winning this season. And his game week 8 fixtures is Forest and Ajax. Is the second best midfielder in the game, which is amazing. He's averaging 3 tackles minimum, accumulating an average of 2 points, 2 bonus points per game, which is great. He's got a goal last game week, I just mentioned there. And Chelsea have got some easy fixtures ahead with in game week 9 Sunderland and Wolves, game week 10 Spurs and Karabag, and game week 11 Wolves. Sorry guys, I got a cold by the way, so I'm struggling. And the cons to that is that obviously we know that Ajax do score goals, so they will threaten Chelsea. And I don't know if he might play a bit more. They might take a defensive-minded approach to that game, but it's not really much cons to consider here with Moses Caicedo. He's got good ownership, so yeah, he's one that you could consider. If not, we got Enzo Fernandez at 4.7 million, so they're equally the same in price. He's playing further up, so that is one that you should probably want to consider as well. Either Enzo or Caicedo, and Enzo does take penalties. I forget him with Palmer out injured. But yeah, that is that on the midfielders. And then up front, I wouldn't waste too much time. We know what time it is with the strikers. The only guys I could consider this game week is the usual suspects. Salah, who's obviously going down in price by 300k. Most people I see people getting rid of Salah. Still got great ownership of 37.6. But right now he's got a total of 58 points. It's not really doing that great at the moment. Although he has scored 13 goals in 15 games against Man United, and obviously they're facing Man United and Frankfurt this game week. Man United have conceded 9 goals in 5 games, keeping only 1 clean sheet. And Frankfurt have conceded 16 goals in 5 games, averaging 3 per game. So if you got Salah, maybe you want to hold on to him. And he did score 2 goals in the World Cup qualifier recently. So yes, you should probably look to in considering Salah. And the only thing is that he's obviously the constant that is considered three. He's going down in price by 300k. He's blanked in the last 3 game weeks and hasn't scored for Liverpool in 4 games. And yeah, Liverpool not in great form, and you know they've lost the last 3 games. So, but he's a potential captain for me this game week also. You know, and alternatively, if you ain't gonna pick in Salah, you could go for Isak, who didn't have the best of games recently for Sweden on both games, blanking out, and also for Liverpool. So yeah, Salah should be. If you've got him, I'll probably say keep him. If you don't, then I don't know. You know, I wouldn't say bring him in, but I think this fixtures could see him have some healthy returns. Haaland, I don't need to waste my time on Haaland. He's doing bits in the game. He's a must-have. First choice pen taker's got 15 goals and 2 assists so far this season. 4 career goals versus Everton in 4 games, and Everton they kept the clean sheet in the last 4 games either. So yeah, he's one that you should definitely have in your team. And Villarreal have considered 7 goals in 5 games. So yeah, keeping only 1 clean sheet. So once again, Haaland doing the biz. There are no cons to him. He's got ownership of 63.1%. That's wow. And for me, he's the top captain for this game week. And finally, I will say Woltamede for Newcastle, 4.2 million. He scored 3 goals in the last 3 game weeks, and he's averaging 6 points per game. His total points of 42. Should be going up in price if you consider bringing him in. Brighton have kept only 1 clean sheet in 5 games, conceding 6. Benfica have considered 4 goals in the last 2 Champions League games. And yeah, he's definitely having a price increase. The cons to having him is that obviously Benfica, managed by Mourinho, a bit more defensive minded. They've kept 2 clean sheets in the last 5 games and only considered 4 out of 8 in the league games. So, but he's got ownership of 11.6, so people are clocking onto him. Alternatively, if you're a bit not too sure, then you could go for Gordon, who's slightly more expensive at 4.9, and he scored 2 points last game week, so should be going down in price. So bear that in mind. But he scored a total of 52, and also the first, I think he takes the penalties for Newcastle at this point. But yeah. So, guys, that was a quick brief of the players or the pool of players I was considering this game week. Please leave your comments on players you thought I missed or I should have considered this game week. And yeah, you're gonna have to help me to help you, like I help you to help me. Yeah, but just to mention that. And then now to bring my team into the equation. I got a bit of a try. I got a bit of my own problems. I got, as you could see, I'm playing 3-5-2. Anthony, someone that I'm considering. Not considering. I would like to move him out, but don't really have much got the funds to do so at this point in time. But if there were 2 players I was considering, taking out my team, would be probably more likely Anthony and Doku, or I don't know, or maybe one in defense. Or Anthony or Van der Veen, in the sense that maybe I could move Van der Veen for Timber, and then a cheap midfielder right now at this point in time to keep me ticking, which I do not know. Or I could consider maybe Woltamede up front, but then that means I don't bring in Timber. And right now, Timber is literally outscoring strikers out right now in the game. So, yeah, these are players I'm considering. And Doku as well. Doku hasn't been in great form as well. So the funds right now are a bit stressed, in all honesty. And I think if I was to get rid of Salah, that would literally help me getting in Timber. That would help me getting a Bukayo. That would... I don't know. I've really got to get my thinking out on for this for this weekend. But listen, like, share, and subscribe. I'm back from my holidays, and yeah, we're gonna keep these videos rolling. Sorry this episode was a bit rushed, but yeah, it is what it is. Dream Team Scout